If you're thinking about offshoring through a BPO, pause. Because here's the reality, 80% of offshoring hires churn. And when that happens, your operation suffers. Your onshore team ends up picking up the slack and you're back to recruiting, retraining, and starting the offshoring process all over again. So before you engage any BPO or offshoring company, ask yourself these 6 critical questions. If they can't answer yes to all of them, you're not building a team, you're setting yourself up for churn.
Hi, I'm Tamara Le. I've been building and helping exit 8- and 9-figure businesses for the past 20 plus years. And I boil my success down to 2 key drivers. The first one is having agile workforces that leverage AI and outsourcing. And the second is creating a predictable revenue model following our EGS growth frameworks. So if this is the first time on my channel, I invite you to subscribe. I'll be putting out regular content to share best practices and proven processes to help you drive profit, growth, and lead gen.
Firstly, take a look at how they source their talent. Now here's where most BPOs drop the ball. They'll send you a stack of resumes based on a generic job description and expect you to figure out who the best candidate is. And let's be honest, you can't identify a top 1% performer by glancing at a heap of resumes. And you shouldn't have to. An elite offshore partner takes a completely different approach. They headhunt actively, not passively. They will conduct 2 to 3 levels of deep interviews to test judgment, communication skills, and leadership potential. They go well beyond the basic skills testing, using tools like Predictive Index to ensure a cultural alignment between the candidate and the onshore team, plus checking references and background checks. And most importantly, they shortlist only the top 2 or 3 candidates who are the perfect fit in terms of skills, experience, cultural pairing, and future potential. Lastly, they stand by the shortlisted candidates. If they don't work out for whatever reason, it's on them to find the replacement, not you to have to start the process all over again. Next, we want to take a look at if their people and candidates are pre-trained in proven frameworks. You don't want someone who's never heard of EOS, entrepreneurial operating systems, or who needs to learn on the job. The best offshoring partners train their talent in business execution systems and best practices before they even get assigned to you. So the question to ask the BPO is whether they follow a framework to ensure high productivity, accountability, and visibility. And this can't just be at the start of your engagement, but how are they doing this ongoingly to ensure you have a well-integrated global team member? Next, will you be assigned a team leader? Now, offshore success doesn't happen by accident. A quality provider assigns you with an ongoing dedicated team leader, someone who manages the onboarding, the alignment, and the ongoing delivery from that candidate in both onboarding and integration, but also join your L10 weekly meetings at the start, oversee their quarterly performance ongoing, including reviews, ensure that your candidate is tracked to KPIs and is held accountable across the whole organization. They're your on-the-ground team leader to ensure your offshore team is working at optimal outcomes and results, not just a clock in and clock out and screen share. The next one is critical. Will the team work US hours and public holidays? Now, here's the hidden killer of offshore efficiency: misaligned schedules. If your offshore team is on their day shift, which is while you're sleeping, they are missing your meetings, your workflows, and it's going to collapse or not be anywhere near as efficient. The right offshoring partner ensures that your team is fully synchronized with your business hours, including US public holidays. Because true integration only happens when everyone is operating on the same rhythm. Next, we want to look at whether they offer ongoing training and AI upskilling. AI is no longer optional. If your offshore team isn't being ongoingly trained in using AI tools for content creation, lead gen, and workflow automations, then you're falling behind. Look for a provider who invests in ongoing upskilling and gives their people access to these tools and ongoing training that they need in order to evolve, much like your onshore team. Now, this needs to include the tech stack recommendations and access to AI's best practices. Okay, let's summarize. Here's your checklist. Firstly, make sure that the candidates are pre-trained in best practices and frameworks like EOS and EGS before they're deployed. Demand a dedicated team leader and management, including the ongoing performance and oversight. Ensure the candidate is working to your time zones and public holidays, that they provide ongoing AI training, and that their talent is sourced by headhunters, not just job post ads. And lastly, deep shortlisting process to ensure a cultural alignment. Now, if they can't tick every one of those boxes, walk away, because this is no longer just about outsourcing. It's about building a high-performing hybrid team that integrates seamlessly and stays with you for the long haul. When you follow these 6 factors, you're not just reducing churn, you're building retention into the foundations of your business and your org chart. See retention rates as high as 97%, with average offshore tenures exceeding 5 years. Now, that's beyond just outsourcing. That's building a true global workforce.